So now we will move to the next presentation by Csicsák of Respiratory 3, and we will hear about the ROTAQUA and AGILA operations.
Good day, everyone. Right. Okay, thank you for the invitation for this conference. I arrived from the ROTAQUA and AGILA Renewable Energy Service Ltd. from Hungary. We are the kind of industrial partner in this whole project, or one of the industrial partners in this whole project. I'm really happy to be here. I do not have that much experience as it seems. I arrived or joined this community only 2 years ago. Earlier I worked in the oil industry, and just about as it seems, on my first day on the well site, on my first gas well, when I arrived, the drilling supervisor just came to us and starting to tell me everything about how it's going, the jobs and so on, and I just was standing there. I didn't do anything about the drilling, and after 5 minutes I just told him that actually he's the boss beside me, so maybe you should refer to him. And he was shocked, and yeah, this moment was, I was 25 and it was 5 years ago, so yeah, so let's talk about the structure of the presentation. First I will talk about the ROTAQUA company, the drilling company, about the main activity of ROTAQUA and the recent project, and later on I jump onto the story of AGILA Renewable Energy Service, future project of this company. So, this drilling company was, it's a kind of old company. In the mid-50s, in the southwest part of Hungary, in the Csicsák mountains, a uranium ore was found related to Permian sandstone. So they dig the first mining shaft until 120 meters depth, and they start the extraction, the production of the uranium ore in 1956. Later on, several other mine shafts was built in the area, or we called mine factory, and the deepest point was of the mine more than 1.5 kilometers depth from ground level, so it was a kind of huge and deep mine. Of course, the mining was running, but there was needs for exploration as well. That's why they founded a drilling company for exploration. Mostly, they also worked underground and on the ground, and they worked mostly in the Csicsák mountains, but they had several other drilling points across the country, especially where they knew that there is a similar Permian sandstone in the depth. And the regime change arrived in 1990, so the mining company partly privatized the drilling company because they needed, but they didn't want to put a lot of money into this company. So with the help of some former employees, they founded the ROTAQUA Ltd. Still they got most of the orders from the mining company, but they already open for other businesses, and they already get order from the water industry. In 1996, the person who is the owner today bought the whole company 100%, and parallel with this, the uranium ore mine was closed, so it was a kind of like, yeah, business as usual. He opened the market. He started work on abroad as well, mainly in CE. the biggest project were in Romania and in Czech Republic, but some Slovakian and Serbian project as well were running. The most, or the most important leg was the core drilling, but they start to open for some other businesses, and nowadays already the main focus is on the deep geothermal projects. They start to, or we and the earlier they start to buy newer and newer drilling rigs, so nowadays they can run the project faster and more precisely. Some words about the main activity of the ROTAQUA Ltd. So I mentioned now the two most important is the completion of geothermal wells and the structural geological exploration drilling or core drilling. At the beginning of the 2000s, in the east side of the Csicsák mountains, they started to build low and mid radiation radioactive waste deposit into granite. And in the exploration and implementation phase as well, the ROTAQUA has a main role on ground and underground as well. The company also sometimes prepare environmental and geotechnical drilling, and we have an engineering department. Some words about the recent projects. From 2020 until 2022, there was a research project on the west side of these Csicsák mountains, a research project for high radiation radioactive waste deposit. The depot was built in Permian claystone, and our company did the drilling campaign. During 1 year they drilled 3 boreholes. The first borehole from ground level until 800 meters, whole drilling along. The second from ground level till 1930 meters, core drilling along. And the third one was tricky because from 0 to 800 it was full section wells, and from 800 till 1,300 meters it was a core drilling well. It was a very successful campaign and story. We joined together with different companies who did other measurements as geophysical measurements like wireline and hydraulic well tests and so on. And as we know, we talked a lot about earlier, or you talked about a lot earlier, the geothermal energy is more and more important. The governments and the investors start to realize it, slowly but surely. And the Pannonia Basin, in Europe, it's a pretty good place to run these projects and drill these wells. 2 years ago we had a project where they wanted to build a bath. So they asked for a geothermal well, the company drilled it, and in 2,000 meters they measured 160 degrees. So now the plan is changed and probably they will, or maybe they will drill a power station there. We have mostly our project run in Hungary, but as you can read, we had in the last year project in Slovakia, not one, but 2 already finished, 1 is running, and we have 1 more out there. For example, in southeast Hungary, we also drilled boreholes related to heating of public institutions, but we also drill for heating of greenhouses for agricultural businesses a lot. And now I will have some sentences about AGILA Renewable Energy Services. The company was founded in 2019. The main focus of the company is on hydraulic well tests in water wells and in geothermal wells as well. Just some words about this hydraulic well test. Maybe some of you do not know a lot about that. So we usually run in the hole with a tool with two puckers. The pucker is a kind of balloon which can be pumped up by water or by nitrogen gas, and we can separate and choose a layer. Here on the pipe you can find a shutting valve, so you can hermetically separate the testing layer. During the test, you can measure the pressure, and you can paint, or the sulfur is painting a pressure curve, and after, from these data, so it's like you shut in the valve. After you get the pressure buildup of the layer, you open again the valve, it's drop. After it's inflow, the water inflow, after you close again, it's build up the pressure again, and open, and trip out of the hole. And from these pressure buildups, you can get or calculate the size of the reservoir, the permeability, porosity, etc., etc. In the last year, our company was broadened with a mudlock unit. This unit is working together with the drilling rig, which is evaluate the geothermal boreholes. We bought in the last year. They already serve beside 5 holes. Our crew has a pretty good experience. They have between 10 and 20 years of experience, mostly from Carpathian Basin and from the Middle East. They carry, they serve there as a field geologist, and they are responsible for all of the measurements, for the data gathering, for the equipments. And on the same, as I earlier mentioned, with that hydraulic test, we can run in simple water wells, cold water wells, but we can do it in geothermal wells as well. We have several probes, looks like this. We can measure with them until 1,400 bars and 200 Celsius degrees on the wellhead and then bottom hole as well. So we can carry out similar pressure buildups as I showed earlier on geothermal wells as well during well test. This test is running in Southeast Hungary. The future project of ours, probably we will installation of multi-pucker system. It's the multi-pucker system is a pucker system, but not 2 puckers, but 3, 4, 5, and more, with separated layers. All of the separated section has a probe in, which is measuring the pressure changing in that section, usually for 15 or 20 years along. They are connected to surface, so you can check it like daily, monthly, yearly, the data. Probably we will change multi-pucker system in the low and mid radiation radioactive waste deposit, what I earlier mentioned. It was built in the beginning of 2000. We have future project in the geothermal business in Hungary and Slovakia, probably in Slovenia as well. And hopefully we will assist and we can work together in a successful brine risk project with you. And unfortunately, like as my manager, every time order a laboratory measurement from all of the geothermal wells earlier. So we started to build up a data set earlier than we joined to this project, but still we didn't find a golden spot. So hopefully in the next 2 years we will find something good and big. Thank you for your kind attention.
So maybe one question from the audience.